Hey, welcome to Taurus Talks, the show that's not about zodiac signs.
Today, we're talking about what we want from The Sims 4, just in general. I'm not necessarily saying these are things that I want them to put in packs and I need them to put them in packs. It's just like some ideas that we've come up with that we thought would be cool. Well,
And
some of
honestly,
them.
most of these should not be in packs.
Yeah,
This should be
some of these
basic.
shouldn't even be in packs. Some of them are things that we genuinely want to see. Some of them is just like, oh, this would be kind of cool, but like I don't really care because I could see why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So where do you want to start?
Okay, I added a lot more to my list. I have 12 things on my list. I'll just start at the top of mine. Hotels, resorts, motels. I added
Okay.
motels into this list because I think it's something they have not done before. And Sims 4 likes to branch out in ways and not give us the thing we actually asked for. So I think
That's accurate.
motels would not be the worst thing in the world.
I think motels would be kind of cool. I feel like mod creators would take motels and turn them into something sleazy,
For
like
sure.
Turbo Driver and like Basemental. I could see them doing a lot with motels.
And there's so much possibility with them. And I think they can work a lot like apartments in certain ways, especially with like the
Yeah.
neighbors.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Thank you. I feel
But
like this just kind of goes into one of my other points, which just says more to do on vacation. Like they have this whole vacation feature, you can't like do anything with it.
yeah, you can't really do anything like special on vacation. Like in The Sims 2, for example, when you go on vacation, they have these like beach lots and I think that was the only place you could learn the fire dancing skill, because unless you cheated, of course. But there'd be these fire dancers on the beach and you could learn fire dancing skill from them, or break dancers on the street, you could learn break dancing from them.
hmm
What else could you do? I haven't played The Sims 2 in a
I've
while,
never
but
played The Sims 2.
really?
No, I grew up on Sims 3.
I grew up on Sims 3, but I started playing Sims 2 after.
So what's on your list? Like the top of your list?
Oh, I didn't put it in any order necessarily, just like the first thing that came to mind. So at the top of my list is not necessarily an open world, but open neighborhoods. We kind of touched on that in our last video, but that was kind of just a ramble without any notes. So,
Yeah, we came prepared this time.
yeah, we're actually prepared. Well, I mean, bullet points. We're semi prepared.
Yeah.
But basically, I just don't understand why, specifically in apartments, why I have to go through a whole loading screen to go next door.
Yeah,
Like, you see these giant worlds. They have been doing like bigger worlds, like Journey to Batu. That world, they have like really big neighborhoods and a lot that you can do. If they have that, then why can't I go to the park across the street when I'm in Willow Creek?
for sure. And I think one of the biggest example that makes me so mad about it is in Evergreen Harbor with the eco living, whatever it's called.
How you can't go to the community spaces?
That and a
That's
lot
so
of the
stupid.
voting things are on community spaces. So you can't like walk
Yeah,
out your door and go to you have to go travel there, vote, and then travel all the way back. It takes like 5 whole minutes.
I swear that they're on each lot.
In two of the neighborhoods they are, but in the one it's like the quarries, I think. It's not.
Oh, you might be right because I have not played in that third neighborhood.
That's
I
the
don't
one I
play
like the
Eco
most.
Lifestyle like ever.
Really?
Yeah, I like never play it anymore. I played it when it came out and I like never do anything with it anymore.
I really like eco.
It just sits in the background of my game.
I use it
I
too
never use
much.
it. Okay, next on your list.
Babies, teens, children, anything under the age of young adult, it needs to be fixed.
We literally cannot do anything with any other age group. They're so boring.
Yeah, toddlers,
Teens are
they're
just
fine.
adults.
Yeah.
Teens are just young adults who, instead of choosing a career for them, they go to high school, but it's a rabbit hole, so it's basically the same thing anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then if you get them a part-time job, they don't get to do anything with their life. But no, I think toddlers, they're fine. They can use a little bit more improvement because it's kind of
I think toddlers are great. I really like toddlers in The Sims 4. I
I
really do.
prefer them in Sims 4 than I do to Sims 3, which is the only thing I'll ever say about it.
Yeah, I agree. Although, for the babies, I actually prefer Sims 2 babies. I know you haven't played The Sims 2, but the babies actually look like babies. They're not just like in a bundle like in The Sims 3. They're not just an object like in The Sims 4. They actually look like little tiny newborns, and like you could pick them up and like give them bottles and you can hand them to other Sims, and they're just really cute. Like they're genuinely cute.
Yeah, and I don't get the whole like thing people say where people are like Sims 3 babies are so good. Like, no, they're not.
Right. I never understood that. Like, if you're gonna complain about the Sims 4 babies, don't compare it to Sims 3.
Yeah.
Compare it to Sims 2. I get that they're not objects in the Sims 3 and you could like actually take them around, but that's the only difference is you can carry them around.
Yeah, you do the exact same things. And but I mean you can actually click on your babies in Sims 3
Yeah.
and see what the issue is instead of Sims 4 where they kind of treat them like the animals.
That's true. That's true. You can click on them. And I think they do have moodlets, I'm pretty sure.
They do.
Yeah.
Which is such a big improvement because in Sims 4 they have nothing.
Which is so weird
But
considering the Sims 4 marketing was all about having moods. And the Sims 4, I mean, the Sims 3, children, they have a lot of little activities that they could do. Like just little things. For example, how if you click on the bathtub, they could go on a submarine adventure instead of just taking a bath.
yeah,
I thought that was really cute and wholesome. They also had the imaginary friend, which was kind of creepy and annoying, but I
I
feel
hate
like
that
if
thing.
I actually kind of like it, but I feel like they could improve on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
See,
because it was kind of buggy. It would get in the way, especially if you had bunk beds. I mean, obviously, that's not something we have to worry about in The Sims 4, but they would like stand on the bottom of the bunk beds and the child will get stuck in the bed. Anyway, um, I'm not going to go to my next point. I'm going to keep going on the kids because I have a few different points on them. Get to school. We have get to work. Why can't we have get to school?
I think
Like, not
it would be a bad idea.
why?
Hear me out. How often would you actually go?
How often do you actually go to the get to work?
I do it a lot.
So why wouldn't you do it for the
But you wouldn't be
school?
able to use those two packs at the same time ever.
I mean, you can't have two people in the same household with that same with like the same career, active career anyway. So
I guess that's true.
you can only have one, or you would have to send them alone
I don't know. I
and
feel
do
like
every other, go back and forth.
yeah, I feel like in
I
something
feel like it wouldn't be hard to implement since they already have the coding. They
Mhm.
just have to make it for schools. There's literally a mod for it.
I know
So
there
why
is.
can't it? Yeah, I've used the mod. The only reason I don't use the mod that often is because since it's a mod, I have to like actually do my own stuff to make it work, and I'm like too lazy for that. I
Hmm.
want the Sims to do it for me.
See, I don't think there needs to be a get to school mod, but I think school needs an entire overhaul base game.
Yes, like that's something that I actually want to see in the game. Like the get to school is just one of the ideas that I was talking about,
See,
but a school overhaul is something I actually want to see in the game
see,
because school is so boring.
I want
Anyway,
bullying to happen. I want full on harassment of my kid.
honestly, me too.
Like,
I know that's like bad, but hear me out. It's a life simulator, and I get that their whole thing with The Sims 4 is they're trying to make it more wholesome and market it to kids, which is why so many of the expansion packs and game packs are rated E, so they could trick parents into thinking that the game is rated E when the game is rated T for teen.
hmm
But I feel like even if they release certain packs that are rated higher, then the kids just won't get those packs, and it could be for the older Sims players. Because if it's rated M for mature, I know it's not going to be rated M for mature, but if it's rated like T for teen or whatever, then they just won't get it. But I know they're all about money, so if the kids aren't going to get it, then they don't want to sell it.
yeah.
That's why they're making it so clean and wholesome. That's why you can't have bullying. That's why all the mean interactions are really boring. Even in The Sims 3, there weren't a lot of mean interactions. In The Sims 2, there was a lot. Like
In
there was a
Sims
lot.
3, depending on what your traits were, you had different mean interactions.
That's true too. But like they brought back the throw drink option because I don't think they had that in The Sims 3, but they did have it in The Sims 2. But it was better in The Sims 2. It never works in The Sims 4.
No, literally, it always just like doesn't come out. I'm like, really?
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense. It did it every once in a while in The Sims 2, but the majority of the time it worked. And I know because I played Mean Sims, or I didn't play Mean Sims, but I had like them have an enemy or a nemesis. I'm like, I hate you. I'm gonna throw this drink at you. I'm gonna shove you. I'm gonna beat you up. Like, can we get a fighting
I
overall?
feel like this says a lot about our character.
Does it? Maybe I
We're
just want a
literally
realistic
begging for our
game.
kids to be bullied and for us to be mean to people. Wow.
I want more clubs though. More clubs and cliques.
I think
Even BitLife has cliques. Come on now.
definitely cliques, if not clubs. Like we already have the whole clubbing thing. Get together and
Yeah, okay, we have two clubs. I can either be a theater nerd or a scout.
which are both
Like,
humiliating to me.
says the theater
And
nerds.
what about it? And what about it?
We both were in theater, but hear me out. I was in theater, but I was also a cheerleader. I was also in robotics.
Yeah,
Why don't we
same.
have robotics is such a huge club. Why is that not a thing?
I'm surprised it didn't come with the university.
Honestly, you literally have robotics. Why is that not a club?
Mm-hmm. It's because they don't
And
care
like the
about their
sport
kids.
kids have nothing.
Yeah. How come
At
we
least
can't
give them soccer. We have like the soccer thing in university.
I'll get into that on my list later about the whole sports thing.
Okay.
But do you have anything more to say about like the kids?
No, I think that was all of my things.
Okay, well I'm
Specifically
gonna
the clicks. I really want clicks.
yeah. I'm
I
going
want to
to
be able to join the popular kids or like the band geeks. But we can't join the band geeks without the clubs because you need to be in band to be a band geek. We're not going to accept you if you're not. I
this is what
say
I'm
we.
saying.
I've never been in band.
Entire school overhaul.
Yes,
Base game demanding it.
I do. I want that so bad.
Next time I list 5 seasons, they need to be better.
I was thinking about like just now how we actually do have clubs, but they're not like after school clubs. Like the get together club system.
Get together
But
club system also needs an overhaul.
how so?
What do you do with your clubs?
I never have clubs. If
Exactly.
I do, it's just to quickly gather people together.
Exactly. And then they made this whole
They're
thing like
not like actually
big treats.
clubs
I
for
feel
me.
like it should be harder to get into clubs, and I think it should be combined with the school thing. I think the school should automatically have those clubs when you get into it, and you should try and get in with those clubs.
Yeah, I think those clubs need to be like in the actual get together club system.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be so
But also,
because then you
I
could
feel
get
like it could maybe be combined where, because you know how scouts you go on certain days to a rabbit hole or whatever. I feel like they could kind of combine that with the get together club system. Like maybe if you have get together, then it'll also be an actual club. But if you don't, then it'll be a rabbit hole.
yeah. And like here, okay, hear me out. This isn't gonna sound right the way I say it, but it makes
Okay,
sense in my noggin.
in your noggin.
Yes. So at your school, when you click the actual school should be on the map first of all. But
I would love to be able to like go to the school.
mhm.
I really would.
And then while you're like, you can click it and you can be like, hey, try and get in with like these kids, and kind of can work like the celebrity system in Sims 3, where you have to kind of like boost your interest in those certain things in order to get in their club. And then kind of like in Sims 4 University, how when you're in those clubs, they have like certain activities you can go to on certain days. I think you should have the option
I
to go
haven't
with
played
those.
University in so long. I completely forgot they had that
Yeah,
option.
if you're in debate club, you can go to certain things. You don't have to go to them. But if you don't go to enough of them, you get kicked out of the entire thing.
That would be a really good idea, actually.
So I
See,
think
literally, young adults get all the stuff we're talking about. The young
exactly
adults get the clubs.
if you're in like, let's say robotics club, right? You can hang out with all of them at once if you ever wanted to. Then if you have a good enough relationship with them, if you like skipped one practice, they wouldn't be too mad, but maybe all your friendships would go down a little bit. Or like
Speaking of
a
the clubs,
reputation
though,
bar.
that's a really good idea. But speaking of the clubs, why can't we have a club for mermaids? Like, there's no option to do a trait where, like, you have to be a mermaid to be in this club,
Well, what do
or
you
like,
do
you
with the
have to
mermaids
be
in
a
the first
vampire.
place?
That's true, but if you're doing like, because I've had that situation before where I'm playing a mermaid, I'm like, okay, I want to have like a mermaid get together. I want to have a club for my mermaids, like a secret invite only club, but little does everybody else know it's all mermaids. But you can't do that because there's no option to filter to mermaids. There's a mod that gives you more options to filter, but it doesn't have a cult. It has like female or male.
I think
That's
one of the
it.
main problems with the whole clubbing system and get together is that it only put clubs together with the get together townies.
Yeah.
I really feel
Speaking
like they should
of
have made
that,
them for other towns.
that brings me to one of my other points. I had a point called integrated save file option because like I didn't know what to call it, but it would be like if you have all the packs, and this is like I know there's a lot of Sims 4 people who collect all the packs just to have them all, and they like to look at the little thing on the screen and see that it has all the packs. But I feel like if you have them all, and this is good for EA because they're money hungry, and this is gonna compel people to buy more packs, which I don't really want to be a thing. But I'm just saying, if you do have them all, there should be an option that they have like a specific new game. Like I don't know, New Game Plus kind of it's not really a New Game Plus because New Game Plus is like an RPGs where you keep all your skills or whatever. But I'm just going to call it that for now. A New Game Plus where they have all of the worlds integrated with the stuff packs and the game packs and the expansion packs. Like they have clubs for more than just the get together people. They have clubs for more things, and everything is integrated together, kind of like people's save files that you download from off the internet. How they integrate all the packs together, make all these people in different clubs, give everyone hot and cold outfits. You know? Am I
I
making any
feel like that
sense?
shouldn't just be a thing where if you have everything though. That should be no matter what.
But I feel like it couldn't be no matter what because then there would be things missing. For the clubs, sure, because then if you have things missing, that club just wouldn't be there. But if they actually updated and upgraded like all of the homes and locations, then things would be missing and it would look kind of weird. But I think they do have a system in place where if something's missing, like if there's a toilet missing, they just replace it with another toilet. So I suppose that that actually could be a thing that comes with each update because they have updates right before every pack.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Wait,
Just
Dine Out?
can you hear
Why
me?
does it suck?
Can you hear me?
No, but like, why can't I be a chef in my own restaurant, first of all? Because when that pack came out, I was like, oh, I'm going to have a sim who's really good at cooking so I can make a restaurant. Because who makes restaurants? Gordon Ramsay. Who's an amazing chef? Gordon Ramsay. What do I know about restaurants? Gordon Ramsay. So I made the first time I played with Dine Out, because I always play with girls, so I made like a female version of Gordon Ramsay. And that was my sim, and she was an amazing chef. And I finally got to the restaurant. I bought the restaurant, and I couldn't be a chef. I had to hire a shitty
It's
chef from off the street who can't even cook hot dogs correctly.
the most irritating thing.
Why is
I have
a
on my
celebrated
list to
five-star
try out, but
chef?
make it
Yes, I
fixed.
stole that term from The Sims 3. Why is a celebrated five-star chef not able to chef in their own restaurant? Why does a five-star chef have to hire someone from a food truck to cook at my restaurant? I don't serve food truck quality. The lamb is raw. Okay? No, it doesn't make any sense. And I can't eat breakfast at restaurants. People will invite me out to breakfast, and I always have to say no because it would take 12 hours. I have a job, I have to work. Even if I work at like 5 p.m., you could be a literal chef and have your shift at 5 p.m. and you cannot go out to breakfast because it'll take too long. That's annoying.
It's the most irritating. Like literally, it's not breakfast at that point. That's a whole day of meals, and then they don't
Exactly.
sit down.
Never. And why do people steal my food? Why, when I go to a restaurant with somebody, they will stand up, go somewhere, freaking Belagoth will come over, take their food and their drink, and just eat it. And I have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else will eat my food and I will have to pay for it.
I feel like you should be able to walk off without paying. and have some like something happen.
Exactly. They just take the money out of your account. They're like, "Oh, you forgot to pay.
Hmm.
Why can't I dine and dash?" And then like the next time I go back to the restaurant, they're like, "You can't eat here until you pay. You
And
dine and
this
dash on us."
brings me into my next point: risk and reward.
Consequences? Yes, that was one of mine. There's no risk in this game.
I think that you add the investigator career, like you're a literal like cop, right?
We already have the cop career, and not only that, but it's an active career. Why aren't there more consequences in the game? Why can't I go to jail? You have a jail. It's coded. It's
Exactly.
there.
I really think that we need like robberies first of all, not only to happen
Yes,
to you, but you should be able to commit them.
exactly. I should be able to get drunk at a bar, get into a fight, and then get arrested.
I agree.
Get my mugshot taken. They already have all of those features are there. It just has to be put together.
And
That's
honestly,
the
this
thing.
might sound crazy. I think it should prevent you from getting jobs sometimes,
Yeah, I feel like
or
this
at
could
least
actually be a
certain
mod.
jobs.
I feel like this could actually be a mod because all this stuff is already in the game.
hmm And when you like dine and dash, for example, if you do it like too many times, you can get banned from the restaurant.
Exactly. Or if depending on like maybe if the restaurant has like a reputation, like if it's Hogan's deep fried burgers, maybe they'll just ban you. But if it's Hell's Kitchen by Gordon Ramsay, they'll call the cops and you'll get arrested and you'll have to get your mugshot taken,
hmm
get your fingerprints, all
And
that.
speaking of restaurants, you should be able to put in your own price. It shouldn't be able to tell you how much your food costs.
I think you can, but not like the specific price of each thing. I think because isn't there an option for it to be very expensive, moderate, those I think
Yeah,
they
I
have
just mean
that
like
option.
I think when you have like a like 1-star restaurant, you should have cheap food. Then if you keep the same menu until you're a 5-star restaurant, you should be able to up the prices because now you're more exquisite.
I mean, is it more exquisite though?
Well, no, but it's like a facade.
That's true.
I
That's
took
true.
economics. I know how it should work.
We both took econ. What are you talking about? I got an A
Exactly.
in econ.
This is how this works.
And more risk. Can I actually be poor? Because that sounds so bad. But it's a life simulator game and you can't be poor. You can only be middle class. They don't have
hmm
anything get dirty in the game. The game is so clean.
Yeah, which is like low key a good thing, but in like the worst way.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Like, I would love if the world was actually like that. But the thing is, it's not. And it's a life simulator.
Which is
And you know
weird.
what?
Sorry.
I want to play shitty people sometimes. I I know they're not going to put drugs in it, but when I'm playing a drug dealer sim from the base mental mod, can I at least start off in like a poor neighborhood? Give me like a trap house, like not a real trap house. Obviously, I know the Sims can't do that, but something that actually looks run down and not like expensive. Everything looks moderately expensive.
Yeah. And like I feel like they tried to do that with one of the neighborhoods in San Myshuno, make it more run down, but then it didn't work.
Yeah, because that's where I put my trap house when I did play, and I was like, everything else around it looks so
In
clean.
the Spice District,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it's not dirty and poor, it's just small.
hmm Which is not bad at all. It's just that's
And,
they
and it's
tried to make that the poor area.
yeah, and especially the actual apartments themselves actually look really expensive.
They're
Like
massive.
they're massive and then they're decorated expensively.
Mm,
Like there's a whole bunch of art people in that district. Like their apartments look like art people, not starving artists, art people. Like it looks like successful artists and writers live in that apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be poor.
Yeah. I literally, it's a big issue. Let me cross off what I've already talked about so I don't repeat anything. Talked about hotel.
And being poor can lead to sickness, which is one of my other points. Actual sicknesses. I'm so sick of the swirlies, the little swirly things on my sim. And also, I can never get rid of the sickness because for some reason the medicine doesn't work and I can't go to the hospital like every other sim.
No, the medicine doesn't do anything, and people are like, just take it. And then when I give them the medicine, they're like, oh, I took too much. Like, shut up.
All the medicine does is make them dazed, but then the symptoms stay and they never go away. I have to cheat to make my sims not sick because I can't go to the hospital. Why can't I go to the hospital? You have a hospital. The doctor treats those exact same illnesses at the hospital. So what is the issue? Why can't I be a patient?
Exactly. How come you can only go to the hospital if you work there or if you're pregnant?
Exactly.
And how come you can't, like, find out the gender of your child?
Exactly. You have to
Right,
have
the
a
sex of
mod
your
to get an
child.
ultrasound.
Yeah.
Gynecologist. Give us a gynecologist.
Like, there has to be more. There has to be something.
And like when you go as a pregnancy, you also see other patients getting treated.
Uh-huh. Like, why don't we get that treatment?
Exactly. I'm the main character.
Yeah.
I should be able to get treated at a hospital.
This is the
Like
wrong
literally the
story
main character.
progression.
Huh?
The wrong kind of story progression because they're just there to
Exactly.
be there.
Right, they're not even actually sick. They're generated to be sick so they can be there.
Yeah.
But I never really see Sims actually sick.
No, they literally never are.
And then it's the sicknesses are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Can I at least get like I know they have a throwing up animation. So can my Sims throw up when they're sick or something? I don't know, just something that's
They do.
realistic. Really? My Sims like never throw up.
Because there's three sicknesses. There's the one that's kind of like a stomach bug. There's one that's kind of like a cold slash flu.
Mine always get itchy and like the
And then
swirly
that one.
things. It's annoying. But that's
Well,
like
no,
all they ever get for me.
my Sims get the stomach bug one all the time and they throw up nonstop.
Maybe I shouldn't wish for that because the nonstop, like no, I just mean like how
Literally,
pregnant Sims
and
throw
it's
up.
such a problem that they leave work. And I
Jesus,
think that's a glitch in the thing that they're not supposed to do that, but they will literally leave work to do it.
it's probably a glitch because the actual throw up interaction cancels all other interactions.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably just like an oversight,
Yeah.
not a glitch, just an
Okay,
oversight,
I'm done with two
which
things that
understandable.
are unrelated on my list. So
Okay.
the
Wait,
first,
oh my god, I forgot about pranks. I was going to talk about pranks. So we talked about the school stuff.
silly for that. More death.
What more death do you need?
No,
Murder?
my Sims don't die.
Oh, I was about to say, a little morbid.
I would not be mad if there was a murderer.
I mean, I wouldn't be either, but I think it's just because it's, they try to market it to kids so they can't have murder in it, which I understand that. Completely understandable. I'm fine with having mods for it. I really am.
Mm-hmm. I just wish my Sims would die more often.
Why?
I don't. I need excitement. My Sims
Die?
don't die.
Die of what? What do you want them to die of?
Literally anything. How often do you
Literally,
have fires in your game?
huh?
How often do you have a fire in your game?
Every time I try to cook mac and cheese when I start a new game.
Really? I never have fires.
Yes, when I cannot cook on a new game, I have to cheat their cooking skill up if I don't want a fire.
The only
Or
two
buy a really
times,
expensive stove.
the only two times my Sims ever die are by the Murphy bed and by old age.
Literally, in our first video, a fire started. And
Really?
I was just playing to get footage. I just wanted her to cook, and a fire started.
It's kind of funny.
I know. It's so annoying, though. Like, why is there a fire? I just wanted some mac and cheese for my son.
Oh my god. Actually, that brought me back to another point. The food processor needs to come back. That's all.
I never use the food processor except for toddlers.
My last point I have on here is transportation and time with transportation. There's no, like, I'm not saying we need cars because it'd be really hard to do in this.
I don't think it'd be hard to do because The Sims 2 had cars and The Sims 2 was closed world too, even more so because there weren't neighborhoods. You went to one lot
I mean,
and they
I
still
didn't
had
really know
cars.
Sims 2, so I don't have a lot to say about on that one.
You should look up some videos of cars in The Sims 2 because they were great. I always, and this brings me to my next point, because I always bought the car that you had to fix up because I always thought that was so cool and the animations were so cool. There's also a car like this in The Sims 3. I think it came with something from the store. I don't remember what it came with, but you could fix it up and
Yes.
sit in it and everything. And you could actually drive it in The Sims 3 like around town because, you know, it was open world. But I want to have a mechanical skill. I know we have handiness, but like specifically mechanical, because just because you know how to fix a sink doesn't mean you know how to fix a car engine or like
That
build the body of a
repairable
car.
car came with Roaring Heights.
I thought so because it looked like a 50s car.
Hmm. I
So
want
that makes sense.
I want that world really badly.
I feel like the worlds aren't worth it.
I would disagree because of Monte Vista.
I feel like that world was not worth it.
I love that town.
I like it, but it was not worth $20, and I was so mad I spent money on it.
See, I have never seen it on its own. I know it comes in the pack with Hidden Springs.
I think I got it in the pack with Hidden Springs or like Dragon Valley or something. I got it in the pack with something else, and I was like, this is not worth it.
Which Hidden Springs added the better day spas.
It was worth $10.
Hmm.
Back to the mechanic skill thing. I feel like they should add this could be a stuff pack. Like this could genuinely be a stuff pack because it was a stuff pack in The Sims 3 fast lane stuff. I don't think you could repair them, but The Sims 4 is doing a lot more with stuff packs. So I feel like that stuff pack could add a mechanic skill. And since everybody's talking about, or so many people are talking about cars, but a lot of people are saying, oh, I don't want cars at the same time. So I feel like it being a stuff pack is a nice little compromise. Um, I mean, it shouldn't really be in an expansion pack anyway, but I feel like they could add so many cars and then building them up. I feel like that'd be so cool. I'm not even a car person. Like, I don't know anything about cars. I'm not interested in cars, but I still think that'd be so cool to have in The Sims. To have like a car guy. I want to have a car guy. I want to have a car girl.
I think it could literally be called fast lane stuff once again, or like something along those lanes, those lines.
Pun not intended. But
I
I agree.
think that'd be a really
Did I
good.
talk about fixing the vet? I should have talked about fixing the vet when I talked about Dine Out.
Well, all mine are done, so you can talk whatever you want now.
I shouldn't have to be at the vet for 8 hours because the veterinarians are standing outside not doing anything.
And showering in the rain.
Exactly. It says, please wait for the vet. And they're like sitting outside doing that idle animation where they're like looking back and forth stupidly.
It makes me so mad when people do that.
I hate it. Who does that? Whoever does that? And it's so cartoony. I get that the style of The Sims 4 is kind of cartoony, but that's just a little much. So I have three more things:
Okay.
pranks, better interactions with celebrities, and Farmtown. I want to start with pranks because I don't have a lot to say about it. So I just liked pranks in The Sims 3. I liked that you could go to the school and fill it with frogs or steal the test answers and all that type of stuff. I thought that was so cool. And with the mischief skill, I think you can do some pranks at the school, but it's kind of hidden. It was way more open in The Sims 3, and you could also prank computers and showers and couches and TVs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think for there to be a mischief skill in The Sims 4, there's not a lot of pranks compared to The Sims 3. I think that's kind of weird.
I don't understand the point of the mischief skill in Sims 4.
It's mostly interactions, like inviting someone to a fake party.
Woo, woo,
That's
woo.
which is
Like,
stupid.
and it builds the relationship, which that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it never made sense to me how so many of the mischief options actually builds the relationship. Better interactions with celebrities. We kind of touched on this in the last.
We just
I
need
don't
the
know if I
Sims
want
3
to say
celebrity
video.
system. I think that's all I have to say. We just need the Sims 3 celebrity system right back again.
Yeah, basically. Again, I think even in The Sims 3, you. I mean, it was easier because like I'll go back to the mother-in-law thing because that actually happened in the game that I just had recently. Um, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I just saw that thing that said, did your mic go out?
Oh, LOL.
When did you send that?
Like 30 minutes ago.
Oh my god. Anyway, so I had a game where There was this girl, and it was the one that I had sent you. She met this guy in China, and he like moved in with her. And when he met her dad, he was actually a celebrity. So when he tried to introduce himself, he was like, "I'm sorry, do I know you?" And he had to like try to impress him. But it was so funny because, the guy's daughter was also a celebrity. And he name dropped her and was like, "Oh, I know your daughter." And then he was like, "Oh, yeah, we can talk, we can have interactions." And that was that.
Hmm.
In The Sims 4, you can't do that. You just have to attempt to introduce over and over again. It's really annoying. And it doesn't make any sense because why would that be how you talk to a celebrity?
Exactly. And since when you had to like build up the little bar, it was so good.
Exactly. Making the celebrity want to talk to you makes so much more sense than trying to introduce yourself over and over and over again.
I don't
You try
manipulating
to
the
introduce yourself
conversation.
once, and then either it works or it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you go like, "Oh, well, I'm good at this. I do this. Here's this about me. I know this person." And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's what makes sense."
Literally, it's like manipulating the situation in the best way because you're like, oh yeah, I love athleticism. When you literally are like a tech guru, like that'd be so good.
Exactly.
So what's the lot? You said you had another thing on your list.
No, my last thing, farming. That
Yeah,
I didn't even want farming until that farm pack leaked. That like fake farm pack. That actually made me excited for it because I was like, we'll get horses, we'll get better minor pets like we had in The Sims 3, like chipmunks that aren't shitty, snakes, turtles, birds. What else did they have? Maybe we could have rabbits because The Sims 4 is doing new things too. Maybe I could have a pet rabbit,
I
but
think
specifically horses
I really think
and
country
cows and
living
chickens.
is the
Sorry.
best possible pack they could make right now.
What's the best possible pack?
Country living, like I really think that would be the best possible next expansion pack.
I would love country living in a town like Appaloosa Plains or whatever
Oh my
it's
god,
called.
Apple's Plains is my favorite town of all time.
It's so pretty. I don't play it that much just because of the type of game styles I've been playing lately with The Sims 3, but I do go back to it a lot, especially when I want to have farming towns. I'm trying to remember our outro. I think it was just like, okay, that's it. Bye. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure that's what it was.
that's it. We're done.
Okay, that's it. We're done.
That's it.
Are we done? Did we even finish talking about farm stuff?
Who cares?
Okay, that's it. We're done.